Welcome to Donuts with a Sprinkle of Social Media, the podcast for all small business owners.
I'm your host, Sean Moat, and with 15 years experience in digital marketing, I've got a passion for small businesses and social media. Each week, we'll speak to a business owner, find out about their business and their struggles with social media. So let's dive into this week's episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Donuts with a Sprinkle of Social Media. It seems a running theme here that I have friends from Circle Networks joining me every week. That's because Circle Networks is the place to be, and that's where you find your friends. So today I've got the amazing Chris of Spiky Carrot. Hello, Chris. How are you?
Not so bad, Sean. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. I don't know if this will be picked up on the podcast, but it's currently pouring with rain up here in Scotland, so I can hear it bouncing off the roof at the moment. So Chris is the Cilla Black of advertising space. He will match you with an advertising opportunity, but it's no blind date. He gives you all the info you need. Chris, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about the amazing Spiky Carrot?
So Spiky Carrot is a new online platform that I have been developing over the last 16 months now. And it's all to do with helping people that have amazing advertisement opportunities or sponsorship opportunities, and basically getting them out to a wider audience for basically people who are looking or seeking for advertisement for their businesses or their services. So imagine Spiky Carrot really like an estate agent. You know, we take your opportunity and present it in a really nice way to people that are actually looking for advertisement.
Yep, and I noticed, I was having a look before we come on board, there's some great sponsorship opportunities for Cheshire Women's Awards, Charity Bull sponsorship, Epic Young Enterprise Award. That's just some sponsorship, and then you've got your digital and physical, isn't it? It's for everyone, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's constantly growing. You know, as a new startup as well, it is growing at the same time as more people get on board, as I speak to more people about who have these amazing opportunities, and of course make them aware of a Spiky Carrot. And as soon as basically I've told them what I'm up to and so on, I'll get a lot of like positivity around it. And there's always new ad listings that are appearing. I mean, I've already spoken to 2 people today who are currently in the process of creating some new opportunities on the site that hopefully will benefit some other type of businesses. What I've noticed as well is that they're not just around the Manchester area, you know, they're quite national. So yeah. It's only just going to grow over time, hopefully.
No, I was looking as well, you know, that print isn't dead, you know, and I noticed that there's the Door Drop Leeds Community Magazine that's offering very reasonable advertising space. And I suppose with businesses like myself that are based up in Scotland but work UK, it's a great opportunity to find advertising spaces that normally you wouldn't come across, would you?
Exactly. I mean, the site is really broken into like 3 key areas sometimes when it comes to advertisement. So you have like your physical media, you know, your print, you know, finding stuff that people that can put up in coffee shops, like posters. You got the digital side, you know, people that basically have mailing lists that can basically put a featured post in there, you know, and of course sponsorships, you know, like there's currently on there, there's like the awards for Women Chester Awards, they're looking for sponsorship. There's also Epic Awards for Young Entrepreneurs, they're looking for sponsorships as well. So there's some really great opportunities out there that people would not have known about, you know, and that was the whole purpose of building Spiky Carrot, to make people aware of all these unique basically ad spaces that they could basically take out. So yeah, there's some really good ones, and like I say, it's each week hopefully there'll be something new popping up as well.
Yeah. So for someone who's looking for ad space, what's the cost for someone who's looking, just browsing for ad space?
If you're browsing, or you are seeking ad space, it's totally free. It's totally free to register, browse our available lists of available ad spaces, and basically get that connection, make that inquiry with the current ad space owners, and that doesn't cost you anything at all. The only charge to the site of the people that are actually selling, so it starts at £15 a month, and works away, depending on how much you want to list, really, is where the cost comes in.
Yeah. Don't know if you can. It is really buffing it down here in Scotland. I'm hoping when I do the edit, I can edit this out because it sounds like I'm in God knows where. But it's
Well,
absolutely.
well, to tell you the truth, I'm surprised not in Manchester because it's always pissing it down here.
So, how did you get involved? How did you come up with the idea? What have you done before? Before how did you come up with the idea of Spiky Carrot?
Well, it all came really from a problem. And see, my background is web development. So I've been building custom systems for probably around 18 years now. So for all different types of industries. And I'm always very creative. And to be honest, Spiky Carrot is my third venture. So there's also another two systems that I've built over the time that I've been developing. One's a maths website called Create a Test, and another one's called Small Market. And it was whilst I was doing Small Market, I realised that basically there's a lot of independent sellers on there. So Small Market's a handmade craft market. So people who basically create handmade jewellery and cards. And of course, they're national as well. So there's a few sellers there from down south, up north, a couple in Scotland. And I wanted basically to get it out to a wider audience. And I just went down the traditional route of, like, say, Facebook and Instagram advertisement. And I wasn't really getting the return. And really, I realised that what I'm doing as well on Spotty Sales would be great to get like a poster up in a coffee shop or a certain craft magazine. But of course, there was no way for me to find where these opportunities were. And at the same time, little things happened. Like, for example, somebody contacted me saying, would you be interested in sponsoring a certain fighter when he goes into the ring? And I said, well, to tell you the truth, no, because if I put a Small Market banner up, it wouldn't be for that audience. It wouldn't be suitable. I mean, they're there for something else, not for handmade craft items. But for somebody else, another type of business, maybe like in like fitness or something, it would have been perfect for them. And of course, they're trying to fill that space. So it's all these little things that start going through my head, and it's like, you know what? Let's create a hub. Let's create a platform that allowed businesses to do this. To basically advertise and sell at the same time. And so basically that's how I've basically been building it now for, like I say, like 15 months now, and it's got to that point now where I'm shouting about it and making people aware about it, because like any system, it takes a long time and people don't realise that the hard work that goes behind the scenes to get to this point. And it's nice to now shout about it and tell people and show them. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it at this present time.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, isn't it? The people don't see the technology behind a website. Obviously here at Donut Pig, we predominantly look after social media, but we do build websites, but not to the level that you do, Chris. I know that there'll be lines and lines of code sat behind this.
There's hours and hours. I mean, it's more to do with like the problem solving. The actual how it all goes together. That's what takes the time to figure it all out. And even like building it now, having the joys of the promoting it on social media as well. That's a new journey.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult for when you're brand new.
Yeah.
You don't have the followers yet.
And that's I think, getting onto social media, I think that is one of the hardest challenges as a startup. When you don't have the followers, how do you get that message out? And I think me and you have both found a place that helps you get the message out um, through a network of great people. And I talk about this every week because I absolutely love it. Both me and Chris are obviously in Circle Network. The tagline "Friendship fuels business," and it really does, doesn't it, Chris?
Oh, it's great because you meet so many different people and they've all got their own skills and product services, and everyone's really supportive of one another. And I think that's, I mean, like anything, when you're trying to do something brand new and get something off the ground, to have that support from different people, it helps a lot. So yeah, I'm really glad actually I came across Circle Networks,
Yeah,
um, because it's giving me a lot of good connections, and met some really nice people, and yeah, it's my
yeah, I
day
think
sort of spent between messaging them to see if how I'm doing.
yeah, we are. It really is good. You're in the central of England. I'm up in Scotland, but you know, we see each other nearly every Friday because we go to the same one on a Friday. There's 70 odd meetings, and you potentially got hundreds of salespeople working for you,
Mm.
because that everyone's looking out for everyone and seeing where there's an opportunity to say, oh, do you know about this or do you know about that? And it is really good. I always talk about it. For those watching the podcast, I'm just putting up Chris's website. Spikycarrot.com is where you need to go, and sign up. Um, and you'll get news alerts as well, don't you, Chris, to new things?
Yeah, sign up. Like I say, it's free to sign up, especially if you're seeking, and also you'll also get notifications of any new ad listings that come around, and yeah, and
Yeah,
discover more.
yeah, I got mine come through the other day when the St Chad's Bromfield Cricket Club advertising come on, and it just shows you that you don't have to be you know you don't have to be there to be able to sponsor someone, or if you want to give back to you've got a particular interest in cricket and you want to give back to that sport, there's a great opportunity there for digital sponsorship from just £100. It does really open the door to mark to the
Well,
whole of UK.
I agree, and I think that's one of the biggest things is that a lot of these, when you're basically purchasing, you're purchasing off another business, mostly it's another small business, not a big digital enterprise. So it matters as much to them for that revenue. So as much as they're getting a sale, you're also getting the exposure in their location. So I'm hoping that we've got two winners on both sides really.
Yeah, I definitely think you're onto our winner with this. Um, how are you? So how are you finding social media with Spiky Carrot?
I'm finding it quite a slow burner because again, it's discovering what type of what content attracts people. I'm also finding that certain platforms work better than the other. I mean, seem to be slowly discovering Instagram. I think Instagram, I get more followers compared to Facebook. I don't seem to get many on there at all. But again, because the service is more B2B, um, the whole thing with LinkedIn seems to work really well for myself. But it's amazing how certain platforms perform better than others.
Yeah, and I think what's key is you don't have to be on them all.
Hmm.
I think you have to experiment, especially as a startup, you have to experiment and see what works, and then find out, well, like you say, Facebook isn't working for you, so why would you waste your time and effort on Facebook? It might be that you just put one post out, you know, a week just to keep a presence there, but
Hmm.
your effort is where your audience is finding out where that audience
Hmm.
is. Can be challenging.
I totally agree. I think as well, like trying to come up as well when you're, and like I said, new startup, because you don't have a team of people behind you.
No.
And you as they say, you wear many hats when you're going through this journey. And of course, wearing a social media hat and then thinking of all the posts, it can be quite full on really and hard work. And I can see why when I get to that point, I will be in touch, Sean.
And that's that is it, isn't it? It is a full-time job, social media, and as a small business owner, it's sometimes the job that gets pushed to the bottom of the pile, isn't it? You've got bigger priorities, and
it's a scary one, because at the same time I think you shouldn't, because again you want exposure. You need people to discover you, and especially discover the opportunities. And if you don't put yourself out there, then unfortunately they're never going to come across your site. So I think you shouldn't leave social media behind. You should be quite active, but it does take a lot of time and hard work.
Yeah, and I think I think you've hit it on the head quite early on, that you identified that LinkedIn is where you need to be, and I would totally agree. What you're offering is the perfect platform to be promoting that on, but also keeping that presence ticking over on the the other ones, because as business owners we're all on Facebook. It's more concentrated. That's your target audience is there in LinkedIn, and that's I think some businesses struggle with identifying where their audience is and where they should be concentrating.
I mean, I found the whole thing with LinkedIn like a confidence thing, really, actually, because I mean, I've been on LinkedIn for many years from a developer point of view, and it's knowing that you, in some ways, flipping LinkedIn to make it available like a tool for you to advertise the platform of Spiky Carrot, because previously I just used it to advertise my development skills for recruiters, but it's a lot more powerful than that. It does a lot more, and it's only this year that I have discovered that. And it's only this year that I finally put a post up on LinkedIn, scary enough.
Yeah, but I think with us being in Circle Network, I think we build those friendships online during the meetings, and I think we build those professional networks through LinkedIn. And I think I know, since obviously I'm on LinkedIn and I've been on LinkedIn, but I think when you join an organization, sometimes it pushes you to do more on that platform. And I know that I'm doing more on LinkedIn now than I ever was.
You're totally right. Because through the circle networking, there's a lot of people that are already very active on LinkedIn, and in some ways they're tutoring you, because you're seeing what's working for them, because you've not seen how it could be used before, and they're all engaging with you. And of course as well, they're giving you the comments, they're giving you likes, which really helps that you're posting something relevant.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if I was looking to sell some advertising space, it's just as simple as signing up, is it, Chris?
It really is. It's the way it's been built, because like I say, it's a custom built platform. So it's not been a lot of things that are being thrown together. It's been built from scratch. So as soon as you register, there's a nice little section that basically has little step sections where you basically just click on, ask you a few questions about the opportunity, and trying to get as much information from you. And hopefully you'll be happy with the end result. Creates a nice professional listing, and people can then get in touch with you about it.
And I believe this is where it tests me if I've been listening to your recent talk at Circle Networks. I believe you also offer them people who are selling advertising space a free trial. Is that correct?
Yeah. So at this present time, there's a 30-day free trial. So sign up. You won't need to enter any card details. So it's easy, as like I say, just register, get that ad listing up, and if anyone decides to inquire, you can basically send them a payment link. So all the transactions are done through the platform, There's no commission on the actual sale, so that all that money comes to yourself. The mechanism behind it is Stripe, so it's more secure, and yeah, it's easy as that.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a really from looking for advertising space to selling to advertising space. It looks, the website looks good. It is, and I know it's easy for us, you know, because they're probably saying Chris dropped you a $5 before the call to say how wonderful it was. But it is, isn't it? It's so easy to use, so easy to find what you're looking for. You haven't got to go through hundreds of pages to find what you're looking for.
It's leveraging on basically my experience over many years of developing custom platforms for people. So, and one of the biggest things which I know people miss out is just the usability. You know, keeping it clean, keeping it easy to use. You know, it's one of the big things it's one of the way I like to do stuff, because if you have a really poor, slow performing platform, people are not going to use it. And so these are the things which helped me make sure when I built it that it ticks all these boxes.
Yeah, and you know, like I say, you do your talk at one of the Circle Network meetings the other day, and it's that fast. I was able to sign up within the 7 minutes that you were speaking, and have my confirmation and set my password, and were viewing the page while you were still talking. So it is, if I can do it, anyone can do it. That was, you know, it's super fast, easy to do, super fast to do, and within minutes you're opening up to be able to see what digital ad space is available. So yeah, so what's else is happening, Chris, with yourself and Spiky Carrot? Is there any plans to do anything else with it, or you know, or what's happening?
Oh, there's so much. There's so much going on. If you could see the list that I have written down of like more improvements, more changes. So I tell you what's going on recently with the platform. So first of all, I've discovered that whilst I'm talking to a lot of people, and because I'm doing a lot of networking now, and what I'm realizing is that I'm educating people of the potential opportunities that they might have. And this could be like, for say, people that have a newsletter, you know, have a premises, you know, there's so much opportunity out there. So what I realized is that by teaching these people, making people aware of this, that it'd be nice to get this down on the site so people can come across it themselves. So I'm just in the middle of getting a blog on Spiky Carrot, which will hopefully have a couple of guidelines and basically educate people of ways of generating revenue. As well as that, I'm currently in the process of basically creating some default placeholders and integrating QR codes. So when you create these listings, giving you like some resources that you can basically take it off the site. You know, if you run a physical, say, shop, for example, a coffee shop, you come to the site, you create the ad listing, but of course, you could basically print like a placeholder image that you could stick up with a QR code there where people can quickly scan straight to your ad listing and, of course, inquire about that ad space. So there's constant development, constant new ways to basically get people to engage with that ad listing and make people aware about it. Because as much as getting people to create the ad listings, also, you know, getting the exposure, you know, to other businesses that are just, like I say, who are seeking, and just telling them about, by the way, there's a great opportunity just up the road from you. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you touched on it earlier. You know, one, it's affordable. So if I'm wanting to sell ad space, it's affordable to do it. You know, you're not asking me for hundreds of pounds to sign up to be able to sell my ad space, and then you're going to take so much commission. You know, it's easy to do. So even, you know, I've worked in the third sector with a lot of charities, run a couple of charities myself, and I know that sponsorship is a big thing for charities and small businesses and organisations. So you're not asking for a lot. £15 is what, 3 Starbucks coffees, if that.
Exactly. I mean, one of the big things as well I say about the whole thing about Spiky Carrot, and especially I've spoken to a few charities as well this time, is that it gives you the exposure, and also for the charity, and of course the sponsorship opportunities, because you're creating technically like a physical presence online, so an additional to what you've already got, so of course that's going to help with many things really, but it means that when people come in, they can also find out information about a charity, link to your social handlers at the same time, and actually they might actually have a question, and of course they can do that as well, so they can get in touch and make that, because we're not stopping that. We want people to get in touch, but of course to do that you need to register.
Yeah. So again, for anyone watching, head over to spikycarrot.com. I'm a bit disappointed, Chris, that you don't have your carrot with you.
Well, he is there.
You've not disappointed me. So you definitely need to, people definitely need to head over there and check you out, and if they've got any questions, where can they get in touch with you?
So if you have any questions, you can contact me through the site, or you can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm really happy to have a conversation with anyone. Yeah, best way is to contact details on spikycarrot.com, and it's at the bottom there.
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about what's coming next, the QR codes, if we all remember when QR codes come out a while ago, they didn't work because no one had the technology on their phones for them to work properly. But it just shows you how technology has changed to allow QR codes to work so seamlessly now and deliver people, directly where they need to go.
I mean, from a technical side, yes, I think from the QR codes, they've changed, they've adapted. You can get a lot more stuff on them now, especially from like contact details from a quick scan. But I think the whole thing of like mobile phones have just made it so easy for people to basically pick it up, put your camera on it, and direct you to the related resource. And everyone's now used to doing that now, that they've become quite powerful again.
Yeah, and I think everyone knows how to use a QR code now. I think when they first come out, it was clunky. You had to download an app to read the QR code, and if you didn't have the app, that was already a barrier to a lot of people. And I think QR codes now are amazing. I use them in a lot of things I do. So different QR codes point people to different parts of my website, or to a form, or to a video, YouTube video that I put out. It's so powerful now. And you can. I think the good thing with QR codes now is that how you can personalize them and brand them to your own business.
Well, yeah, and you can, in theory, you can put images in the middle. You could put your logo in the middle. You can change the colors. I mean, they don't actually technically need to be a square.
No.
So they have adapted, and I think as well, because there's a lot of like visual people out there, creative people, are taking these and making them more, easy for people to come across and interact with. We are seeing them a lot more than before.
Yeah. I think that's an exciting development onto your site. So, anyone listening today, then, Chris, what's your ask?
What's my ask? Well, if you want to find some unique advertisement opportunities, there's some great small businesses on the site that are currently selling some great spaces. Go checking them out. If you basically go, oh, actually, I might have a great opportunity here to basically get for other businesses. Register, get it on. Like I say before, is 30 days free trial. You don't need to enter any card details, and as this journey is going ahead, a lot more traction is happening with Spiky, especially like I say, as I'm going to a lot of networking events, and a lot of people seem to be really, really interested in it all. So it's a good opportunity to get your space or sponsorship opportunity out to a wider audience at this present time. So yeah, jump on.
Brilliant. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate you joining me today. Again, spikycarrot.com is the site. Head over there, check it out. And yeah, let Chris know if you've got any questions. So this is the end of this episode. I actually don't know who we've got lined up next. It will be another friend from Circle Network, because I'm doing my tour of Circle Network people. So I can guarantee you it's someone from Circle Networks. I just don't know who it is. So tune in next Friday. And Chris, once again, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Sean.